Hello, this is a video about the demonstrations for installation and environment setup for the SISEN tool. SISEN, which stands for Security Informed Safety Education Network for Controlled Cybersecurity and Safety, is a tool that simulates smart buildings, medical IoT, and 6 low-PAN industrial IoT scenarios. They can be launched, observed, captured, and subjected to controlled attack. In this first video, I will install SISEN on Ubuntu and prepare the local environments, and then later we can explore different scenarios and packet capture and so on. So the first thing that we want to do is I have a virtual machine. At the moment, the virtual machine is 24.04. It's recommended to have 24.04 or later, together with Python 3.10. Before installation, I'm going to confirm that the system is ready, and I'm working from a normal user account and to access sudo. So what I'm going to do is, first thing that I'm going to do is to open a terminal, and I'm going to update my repository. Once I update my repository, I'm going to update after I'm going to install Git. And I need Git because I need to install, I need to clone Git from my repository. And Git is already installed here. However, if you don't have it installed, it will install. So the next step is I'm going to clone the repository. I'm going to go to desktop for ease of use. And everything that we do in all of the tool is going to be from the root directory of the repository. So we'll have the repository on the desktop. I'm going to type git clone https, and that's the repository address, github.com, and my username, and then SISEN capital letter .git. And you can see that the folder for SISEN was created. So this command download the repository. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change into the root directory of the repository. So we're going to go to SISEN, and we're going to next use, all what you need is 2 setup scripts. The first script must run with administrative privilege because it's going to install system packages, manage service, and prepare repository scripts. So we install it using the already provided script, which is sudo, which is a setup script in the setup folder called setup dependencies.sh. So we run it by starting with /, and we run it, and it will install all the required repositories for the tool. So it's going to install networking and wireless utilities, host APD and DNS mask for wireless access point, the Mosquito MQTT broker and clients, packet capture tools, for example, TCP dump and Wireshark, Python, and virtual environment support, and so on. On the second step, what we're going to do is this particular setup dependencies also disable some services from auto starting, simply because we want the tool to take over those services. So once we see that setup complete, the next step is to run the setup.sh, and setup.sh is, so you only need to set up the dependencies once if you are on the same machine. But the setup.sh is basically creates the SISEN Python environment. Every time you open a new terminal, you will need to do that. So this script should be run as a normal user, and all what I'm going to do is simply run the script. And that script will create the environment from an environment.example, which is already exists in your repository. And this default configuration is suitable. You don't need more than that for the default simulated scenario, so it normally doesn't need to be edited before first use. The script also creates a project local Python virtual environment and install all the packages list in the requirement.txt. And you can see those files in the repository here. So you can see in the setup folder, you can see the requirements and the setup dependencies file. Right, so the next file, and that's the requirement file and the setup for the dependencies. Now, this dependency is basically for the Python packages, and it will install Flask for the dashboard and Power MQTT for MQTT communication and Python YAML for the configuration handling. And you don't need to activate the Python environment yourself. The code itself is the script itself activated. So now, once we have the SISEN setup complete, all what you need to do is to basically run that tool. So basically, we can verify that the installation and the environment setup are complete. I will verify them simply by running the launcher and by typing python 3 launch _ sisen.py. And you can see that SISEN started. It created the namespaces, the HWSIM radios, and everything that is needed, and it simply presented me with a scenario selection menu, IoT smart building, medical 6LoWPAN, and medical IoT and 6LoWPAN IoT. So I'm going to stop it for now. And you can see when I stop the application, anytime you stop the tool, you will find that it stops all the processes and basically it resets all the networking environments to your original networking. So in this video, we've presented few commands that you need to prepare SISEN and the environments that you need for the rest of the demonstration series. And the system dependencies were installed using the setup dependency file. The repository local Python environment was created using the setup.sh script. And you can run that script once the environment is created. You can run the launcher for the tool using that particular launch._sisen.py. So I'm going to stop this video here. In the next video, I will use the SISEN launcher to start a scenario, explain the main launcher options, and show the initial dashboard and the scenario output. Thank you.